What's up?
Oh,
How's life?
well, down in St. George, it's really awesome. It's really beautiful down here.
It's snowing here.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. I saw that. Um, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it does. It really
It
does.
does suck. Yeah. So there we go.
Mhm. Do
Yeah,
you have
that's
your
where I
family
am.
with you?
Pardon?
Is your family with you?
Carl's here. That's really all that matters.
That's required.
I know. Tim is here and Lauren's actually driving down right now.
That's not allowed.
Yeah, but you look really dark.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
You feel really dark.
It's my tan.
No, it's not your tan. The lighting is very dark. I mean,
Yeah,
don't you know anything about this internet thing? You have to
I
have
do.
light on your.
What we're doing, I have like, look, this is how artsy I am. Like, you see how this is glowing?
Uh-huh.
It's like backlit by a candle.
So the whiskey is backlit, but your face is not lit at all. That's better though. That's a little better. I like the picture of Maddox in the background.
That's not Maddox. That was just some random kid I found.
She's reaching down, going, "Put me down."
Where are my parents?
You're not my dad.
Nope.
Uh,
Wow,
well,
it's going really hard now. That's sad.
no, don't be sad. So how have you guys been? How's Maddox holding up? Does she know that there's no more school? Like school's done now?
Yeah, I told her summer vacation started yesterday.
Okay, she's excited then, probably, right? Does she miss her teachers though?
Yeah, they had like
Miss.
they're doing like Zoom calls and things like that. But
Mhm.
when we were pretty strict the first 2 weeks about the homeschool stuff, and they gave us packets.
Right.
She's like, "Dad, we should just go ride bikes." And I was like, "Well,"
PE all day.
I was like, "We got to do the packets." And then she's like,
Mhm.
"Dad, I'm in preschool. It does not matter."
She didn't say that.
I swear she did. And I was like,
Wow.
"All right, let's go ride bikes because that's true."
Well, it's not that it doesn't matter. It's just, yeah,
It doesn't.
yeah. It
That's
matters.
like they don't even make kids go to preschool. They're like, "Oh, you can skip it if you want and go to kindergarten."
But it's good structure, I think, for them and their interaction with their teachers. And do they get to see the other kids when they're on with Zoom, or just each kid
Yeah,
is one? Oh,
yeah,
they do. Okay,
yeah.
well, oh yeah, I saw the picture earlier today. That must be complete chaos for that teacher.
And Maddox is super polite, and she's like, "Dad, I want to say something." I'm like, "You just got to go for it." She's like, "I just wanted to interrupt me about it." She's like, "Hey guys, can I tell you a joke?" And they're just all like, they're talking. She's like, "They're not listening." I was like, "You should probably yell at them to shut up."
Don't do that.
She's like, "Can you get their attention?" I was like, "I'm technically not here."
Right, right. You're not in school.
I was like,
So we're doing,
you know how
this
you
is our,
told me your teachers don't have phones at school? When I
yeah.
had my phone out when we were doing homeschool, she was like, "Dad, teachers don't have their phones."
They do.
I'm not a teacher.
No.
So,
So this is our first official Wednesday wine and whiskey.
wine and whiskey. I have
Cheers. I got cheers.
an empty
Cheers.
pickle jar that I cleaned and turned into a whiskey glass.
Hmm. Does it taste pickly still?
No, nope, it's clean.
You sure?
No, no, not at all.
No.
Um, what are you doing down there?
So hiking, road biking, mountain biking. There's a mountain bike today. This area over by, they've actually built it somewhat recently. It's over by the airport, the St. George Airport, Desert Canyons it's called. Um, it's out in the middle of nowhere. You're literally on the border of Arizona and Utah. But great flowing trails, not too difficult at all, especially compared to like Park City, not a lot of climbing. I think we did like
A lot,
800 feet in like 12 miles.
does it have a lot of jumps like you like?
Oh yeah, yeah, totally. I was like just going off the booters and just jump in and
You
no.
said booters. I'm just impressed that you know what a booter is.
I know what a booter is because I've done mountain biking races, okay? And so these people who I was hanging out with, it was just these crazy group of people at the Mesa Verde 12-hour mountain bike race, which is just epic for someone like me who is not a mountain biker, has like background. And they took, one of those big giant wooden wheels that you do the cables around, and you used to use it as a coffee table back in the 80s. Remember those?
Oh, the big like spindle.
Yeah, yeah. So they took that and they put a ramp on one side of it, and they had people jumping off of it. So they would scream at everybody as they're going by because they were at the beginning of the entrance of the race. Do the booter. And then if they didn't do it, people booed.
Did you do
It was
it?
not very, no. Hello.
You got.
No. I don't care. I'm alive.
I bet you got mad.
I don't care. I'm just safety first. That's what safety first.
Yeah, me too. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, right.
oh.
So I've been road biking a lot. I actually had an athlete down here last weekend who unfortunately they canceled the St. George Ironman, one of many Ironmans and half Ironmans. And as you probably know from your athletes, mountain bike, road bike, you name it, everything's canceled.
Yeah, I mean, once the Olympics decide to cancel, like,
Yeah, you
all right,
can't.
you know what? Maybe we should do, or we're gonna look like jerks.
Well, not just that, like
Well,
it's almost
actually,
like all these
in the Olympics.
all these race directors are like sitting on the fence because I was supposed to do a triathlon down in Vegas
Just
late
one thing.
April, and they canceled it. And a lot of people were kind of disappointed because they weren't refunding the money. And this is a really small company, but they're really great, and people were really giving them crap. But I think once the Olympics canceled, like all the smaller things were like, oh, whew, now we can cancel. Because if the Olympics canceled, now we can say, well, look, the Olympics canceled.
Well, it's like it's been funny here in Park City. Like a lot of companies and like places have been like, oh, we're basically gonna follow the school system, and they're like, oh, like we would prefer you to come in. Oh wait, they canceled school. Okay, you can work from home. We'll come back when schools come back and be like, all right, see you in September.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then my brother-in-law is like part owner of a summer camp up in the Catskills, and they're not having summer camp
Yeah, I mean,
because it's too close, and
you just can't, like, unfortunately, because it just is what it is. Everything's a guessing game right now, and like it's you don't want to be the one asshole that was like, yep, we'll go, and it could be fine, but it's not.
yeah, or then you get like a major outbreak, especially like a summer camp. I know when H1N1 happened, my daughter Lauren was in a summer camp in the Carolinas
What's
that she had been the swine flu, H1N1.
was that like way back in the day?
You're not that younger than me, okay? You're so funny. I don't know. It was 2000 and shoot, 6, 8? No, it wasn't 8. No, it was 2011 ish.
Was it that
2011?
like, I didn't think it was that recent. Like I know what it is and remember it, but like I really.
Yeah, H1N1, and she was actually in the hospital in the emergency room the night before she was supposed to come home. And they put her on the plane and brought her home. They said 3/4 of the camp were quarantined to a certain area of the camp because everyone in camp had it. And she came home with it, and they gave it to moi. And I had it for like 6 weeks. Yeah, it was bad. So in a camp setting, I can only imagine if one kid gets it. I mean, they don't wash their hands, and they don't, there's no way. So we're talking not just school. I mean, I'm thinking of all those moms who are like, I mean, because, especially where we live in Park City, it's crazy. People are like, when it's time to sign up for that, the kids mountain biking thing.
Yeah, the fellows and stuff. And,
right. I know moms are on the internet literally in the moment it's pushing the enter button because it gets sold out immediately. That's not, I don't know if that's going to happen.
I mean, like even like the point. Like we're sitting here, like I mean that's in August, and it's like, are you guys gonna hold on to it? Like, what are you gonna do? And
Yeah.
because can I just keep drinking or should I start training?
No, just keep drinking.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. Want to say hi to Carl? He's
Carl.
hot. Come here. Come here. Such a brat. Hold on. Let me get up. Oh,
Come here, Bruce. Come say hi to Carl. Come here.
there you go. There he is. Oh my God, he's all hot because he was laying outside. How old is he now?
Bruce is a girl.
Oh, sorry.
And
Well, Bruce sounds like a boy's name, don't you think?
well, my daughter's mom's name's Travis.
True. But Travis is kind of like a boy-girl name. It's one of those like Chris,
We call her Brucey Snuggles.
Brucey Snuggles. Well, this is Carl. Hi.
Is Carl a boy?
Carl is a boy, but people think he's a girl because he has big nipples. Seriously. So he gets a little bit of a complex, but he can handle it. He's very in touch with his masculine side, and he doesn't care that people call him a girl. Look.
Crushing it in the desert.
Huh?
He's been crushing it in the desert.
Yeah, we go early though in the morning. He did 4.5 miles yesterday. Now he's laying on his belly sleeping. Yeah, we did 4.5 miles yesterday, so he's hanging. He's hanging.
How are your clients doing? Like this is, obviously like one of the big things that we've seen. There's a lot of adaptations, and you and I have talked a little bit about it, but we have no idea what's going to go. We have no idea when gyms are going to open back up. Like, how are your?
Well, I saw in the news. I was really shocked that somewhere up in Logan, there's some gyms that are opening, which I think is really silly. But they're doing like they have to have like a lanyard that's color coded based on where they could go in the gym, and the locker rooms are shut down. I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. My clients, we've been doing some Zoom workouts with a couple of them, and I've been doing the Zoom classes like you've been doing as well. So that's, good. But also it's making me, really miss a gym setting. I'm not working out with paper plates and dish towels. I don't do that ever. Not doing that. Or soup cans. I'm just not.
Be good sliders.
No, I'm not doing it. I refuse. I'm sorry, but I'm not. No, not doing it. So
using towels.
I don't know. I saw somebody doing some sort of dish towel work, maybe on a tile floor. I don't know. Anyway,
for upper body pushing, it's actually really good. You should try it.
I do have to say I was quite impressed with your video where you had the like duffel bag and the sheet. That was cool. Yeah. I was gonna steal that. That was such a good idea, and you should hook a link into that video because that was such a good idea. Because that's the one thing is like pulling. There's not a lot of pulling action. You can have dumbbells and weights and stuff, but which I have over here. That's why I'm looking. But I have a TRX, but a lot of people don't have one. So
somebody the other day, it was funny. I was like, for my class, they were like, "What do I need?" I was like, "Well, if you have a TRX, awesome." They're like, "Yeah, why would I have that at home?" I was like, "That's literally like what it's made for." It was like I said, like, "Oh yeah, have a leg press." I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "That is like ultimate, like putting your backpack, have any like deployments and things like that's what like." It's the easiest thing.
Well, you're military and you get it, and you're a coach and you're a trainer, and
that's like any remote client that I have. That's a part of the.
Oh yeah, that's their requirements on their package.
You have to have at least a TRX.
Yeah.
And because there's so much you can do with it.
Oh, so much.
And I think maybe that's something that kind of we can talk about. Like, obviously we know we don't have a gym, the weights and stuff at our disposal, and that's tough. For me, where that's really my bread and butter is I've made my whole thing is built around like compensating for all the activities and things that we do, and have always focused more on the heavy, slow, deliberate lifting, and that's kind of been my thing. So it's a lot of my clients who rely on that have just been like,
now what
are we doing? And so obviously like the factors that we can control with that are one, like slowing down the tempo and pauses and things like that. But it's been tricky. It's been really challenging for me, even as a coach.
This is when you need the BFR bands.
Yeah, you know what? I was like, the other day I was like, oh man, like how do I like tell all of my clients to go
To
buy?
buy BFR. I'll get you hooked up. So
I
for those of
know.
you who don't know what BFR is, it's blood flow restriction. And what I'll do is I'll put together a little video and I'll link it on my Facebook page.
I'll
Uh,
repost the old video of Anna and I doing it.
yes, absolutely. I know. Yeah, where you were like practically crying in the gym because that's just like where the real Deacon just comes out.
Wet.
You were tears coming down. The eyes. No, that wasn't from the forehead. You had a cap on. It was from your eyes.
It wasn't because of the workout. I was just impressed at how much you cared and wanted me to be a part of your life. It made me emotional. Just saying.
Cheers to life. Wine. WHINE. Wine. Whining.
Actually, I will buy them more off of this.
Yes. No, but the BFR bands,
rent,
I really believe are a huge benefit now, because you can use them, in the gym, not in your gym. Yeah. So that's what I've been using, is using the BFR band. So definitely link that video if you can. But you're right. I mean, and I see your videos and you're lucky enough to have, you have a hex, you've got some big plates, but I don't have that. So you're right. We've been slowing things down. And actually I've been revisiting the foundation work that book that Peter Park. So I've been revisiting that and kind of implementing that a little bit more. With actually everyone to some degree, they don't really know it. I'm just kind of sneaking it in.
Yeah.
So doing that, and I think this is a good time, gosh, there's so much information out there on online classes. And if you are on the internet, if you are scrolling through social media and you're stuck home with your kids and you're not doing an online class of some sort, shame on you. Seriously.
Have you ever gone to Lynda, LYNDA.com?
No, I haven't.
They don't do like fitness stuff, but like if you want to learn something, whether it's like computer programming or like knitting or like this is like, you can get it for like $9 a month, or they have a free.
So you've been doing the knitting, haven't you?
I've been doing underwater basket weaving.
See, but where are you getting a pool at this time? There's no pools open. You can't go underwater. What do you need? Bathtub? I've seen your bathtub. It's pretty deep.
Bathtub.
So bathtub basket weaving. Ooh, then we could start that bathtub basket weaving. I think the wine is kicking in.
When did you see my bathtub?
What?
When did you see my bathtub?
In a video. I have not been in your bathtub.
I didn't say you've been.
Everyone. That's what he's implying. No, I have not been in your bathroom.
I locked my doors, so I didn't know if you'd like Stacy.
No,
Stacy stalks my house, which was best part was she found out it was the wrong house first. She's like, I'm sitting.
No, I saw a video of
Maddox.
Like,
no, you're not.
I saw a video of Maddox in the bubble bath one time.
That's fair. It is a legit bathtub.
It's huge.
It's
big. Yeah, I think you and I could fit in there together with the dogs and Maddox, and we could probably basket weave at the same time.
It's a good sport.
But that technically wouldn't be social distancing, would it? I know. Well, I got to tell you, I just came from Smith's down here, and I was going to do online, but I was running late because I don't plan. I'm a bad planner. And I was really disappointed. The guy in the produce department did not have gloves on. He didn't have a mask on. And the guy who was doing the carts didn't have gloves on and didn't have a mask on. The only thing, they did have the Perel, the wipes, the sanitary wipes. So I wiped everything down and I had my mask on. But,
like, do you have like one of the fashionable ones or just?
No, I have to tell you, this whole mask thing is like, it's freaking me out.
It
freaks me out.
I like wearing the training oxygen deprivation mask.
Where you sound like Darth Vader.
I'm going like, hey. And then I run. Actually, Maddox and I like to pretend we're robbing places when we go.
Wear your sunglasses and your bandanas.
This is just pretend, right? I'm like, yeah, you just walk out with the cart. Go through this aisle. You just walk out pushing that out. I'll meet you out front. Nobody's gonna stop her. Right?
No, she's just a little kid.
I haven't paid for groceries in 2 weeks.
And it's a mask guy. Everyone's wearing a mask.
right? Like, well, it's like, who was that? I don't have a clue.
Yeah, they can't even see your beard or anything.
College, my buddies were like, let's go streaking. I
Oh,
was,
no, don't.
I was like, all right, let's
Well, your
go.
tattoos might be a little
Right.
bit
So
more,
I literally so I went to a really small private school, like 800 students, and
right?
lived off campus. And
Uh-huh.
get there, and the dean of students is at my apartment after we streaked the soccer game. And he's like, dude, this is a small like Christian college. He's like, you're one of the only people with a ton of tattoos.
Oops.
He's like, this is why you don't do this stuff drunk. He was very understanding. And he's
But
like,
you got to get drunk in order to do
honestly,
it.
I have to punish you because everyone knows you were one of them. And he's like, and it really wasn't that cold.
Oh my God, I love it. So you had a lot of tattoos even back in school.
Yeah, I started getting pretty heavily tattooed when I was about 18 or 19. Started
What was your first tattoo? He has to think about it. Do 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 do.
little like lotus flower on my back.
So what does a lotus flower mean? I'm like not up on my tattoo understanding.
Well, it was a part. So I had some a lot of Hawaiian friends and Polynesian friends growing up, and so it's a whole design that was built around just kind of life and prosperity, and it has the scripture for John 3:16 in it. Just and so for me, it was like an all-encompassing piece of just like faith and life and living for what that meant. So
I think that's cool.
yeah, well, no, I have two that are just like one was a fundraiser, and they're like, hey, the tattoo parlor was donating all of the tattoos. Like they're like, here's a list of the tattoos you can get. All the proceeds go to this girl who lost her eye.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got those. So I didn't really have any like meaning to me per se.
But it meant something to someone else.
Yeah, but so like most of my tattoos are all like pretty like I don't have any that are just like, yeah, I'm just gonna get this.
I'm gonna get a deck of cards.
Yeah.
I watched a documentary 2 nights ago on this guy. They call him Cartoon.
Tiger King.
No, yeah, I've already. Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. Tiger King is so bizarre, and you guys are all going. You're all watching this guy. Yep, Tiger King is bizarre. And then they had like this extended episode, which you're like, oh, you're gonna find out more, and you really don't find out more. It's some guy from like I don't like E channel. I don't watch those channels. But anyway, it's this guy from the E channel, and he gets on and he's like how you and I are, and he interviews all the people from the Tiger King and kind of gets a little bit of backstory. So it was kind of interesting to know, like, and believe it or not, they get accosted. Guess where they get accosted when they go out? You'll guess.
Provo.
No, they're all around the country. So wherever they go, it's one specific store.
Walmart.
So whenever they walk into
the
Walmart, they're like,
threw up the W. I was on it before you even threw up the W. I don't know why.
It's too long. You got to have another sip of that whiskey. Maybe make you think better. But no, but they get accosted.
Threw up the W. I nailed it.
Anyway, they get accosted in the Walmart. So anybody who likes it, who watch a Tiger King, so watch that last episode. It was okay. It just kind of give you a little history and some background on some of the people, because obviously when you watch a documentary, it's edited to make this guy look like the bad guy, and this look like this guy and this guy. And then I did read an article in Outside Magazine with regards to the guy. His last name is Goody, and he was the guy in the very beginning at the snakes, the guy who was selling the snakes. And then he's like, hey, check out what's in my van, and you see this snow leopard in this guy's van, and it's like 100 degrees out in Florida, and this guy is actually a conservationist. And so unfortunately, though, the documentary took a complete right-hand turn and was not about wildlife conservation or these conservation of cats. It was more about, the, you know, homosexual polygamy and the other guy. And it was, but it was, the girl, the woman, Carol, is actually, according to the Outside Magazine article that I read, is actually very strict about her conservationist protocol. If you're caught touching one of the cats or petting one of the cats or taking a picture with the cat, you're immediately let go. You cannot come back. So, and she only takes adult animals.
In her conservation or
in her place, yeah.
So she has
I don't know.
She has like a petting zoo.
No, you're not allowed to pet them. That's the idea with her.
So you just go and look. So she just like has them in captivity.
No, she rescues them because there are people who buy those tigers because they're cute and adorable, but then they're too big and they cost too much money to feed. And the wildlife people call her and say, listen, we've got this guy in Texas who has a tiger and he wants to get rid of it. Can you take it? That kind of thing. That's what she does. So hold on, my husband's coming upstairs. Babe, you got to bring more wine. I'm almost empty.
Oh, he can't hear me. You got your headphones on.
No, he can't hear you.
Hey, Tim.
But there's Tim. There's my husband.
I bet Tim's been drinking a lot more than you being stuck in quarantine.
Hard to see him.
Yeah, I know. He looks a little dark.
I just turned.
No,
no,
it looks better.
Yeah.
It does look better.
Look, did he just say?
He says he looks tan. I'm like, you don't look tan. You just look like it's dark out.
Is that what he just said, though?
Yes.
Yes. See, that's what I said, Tim. Yeah.
Your muscles.
See, Tim and I know what's up.
He already ate. Yeah, he has to go out, but in a little while when I'm done. Sissy should be here soon, like 15 minutes or so. Yeah, I want to go outside, but I think I'm going to lose my internet, so I can't go outside.
Yeah.
It's beautiful out, though. It's a beautiful day. Maybe I'll see and let you guys take a look at where I am and why I'm here, and the reason. We'll go over that in a couple details in a second. So hold on, I'll show you where I am. So hold on. Look at that. Look at that sunshine. Look at those mountains. There's Snow Canyon.
He's sunshine, all right. He's pure sunshine.
No, the sunshine. Whatever. No, but I had to come here because after my gravel race, I had PTSD from the snow. Yeah, we can talk about that another time.
No, I'm here now.
Yeah. It was bad. So I'm happy where I am. Yeah, so as far as going back to my clients, so my triathlon clients, we've obviously switched a lot of things. There's no pools open. The beaches are closed. Even my clients who live on the coastal areas of Florida can't go in the water either. Even the waters out here are all too cold, so no one can go in the water here. And all the pools are closed. So we've been switching a lot of the training around for my triathlon clients, and they've been doing just upper body work and some cord and band work. And then because obviously the races have all been bumped out, we've gone back to more of a developmental phase in their training, which is actually a good thing, because if you're having some issues on the run or the bike with power or speed or technique, you can kind of, instead of having to worry about the fact that you've got to train for X race in 4 weeks, you can kind of go back to a developmental phase and take care of some things that, not that you skipped over, but just that you weren't able to spend enough as much time as you would have liked. Yeah. And then with my one-on-one clients is like my personal training clients. Like I said, we've been doing some Zoom sessions. I've been sending them some workouts, and yeah, I got to tell you, I do not. I'm a people person. I know. Don't even. Okay, you shush it. You shush. I am a people person.
I know with me you are.
I'm a people person, even though people think I'm mean.
Hello,
which is true.
Each other today, and we went and we're like, what do we do? Mm-hmm. We didn't know. We were both. It was awful.
I know, right? I know. My girlfriend Kate is right around the corner. She has a place here, and I love her daughters, and they love me. And I went into their house, and I'm like, Lily, and we both kind of hugged ourselves because, we just got to be, especially when they're kids, we want to make sure we're teaching them. But it's so sad. I can't even hug
Yeah, like
Yeah. It
it's
hurts my heart.
you're gonna get so many hugs when this is over. Here,
Oh,
this is you can't say this thing and then make that face though. You're literally sitting here talking about how much you miss hugs and my hugs.
I didn't say your hugs. I said Lily's hugs.
Same
I
thing.
no, no, does not have all this going on.
Maddox is still. She's like, Dad, did you trim your beard again? Because it's not growing back. I was like, I didn't
You,
trim it. It's just slowly coming. She's like, you better not cut it.
well, Matt, I'll have a talk with her. You just need to keep it clean, you
Okay,
know?
you know what? Get the. I said the other day. I asked. I was like, why? Why do you like it long?
Right?
Dad, because when I'm really sad and I cry and I put my head in your neck, it wipes up my tears.
And it probably your snot.
And I was like, you know what? There is a reason to have a big beard. I don't know if there is ever one that's been better than that.
I think that's a really good reason for tissues, don't you think? I mean, come on. Just use your shirt sleeve. I don't know.
I mean, like, how am I supposed to say no to that?
Okay, okay, but it just, I mean, how much, I think, all right, all right, I get
So
it.
what is so like? And again, one of the big things that I've been doing, and I mean, you just said it, like technique is a huge thing. This is an awesome opportunity for us to address imbalances because no matter what, especially with endurance athletes, there's that like masochistic part of it. Like you have to be like, you need something to train for, and none of us have that right now.
Hmm.
And it's tough to be like, oh, I'm just going to train to feel better, and which is my kind of whole thing.
Hmm.
But like that is not the easiest thing to really to buy into, even for myself. So it's been tough with a few clients who are like, I'm like, all right, well, let's really take the time to address these issues and fix this and improve
Hmm.
this and step back. And I think one thing that I want to like really reiterate is 4 to 6 weeks, like as long as you're staying active, you're not going to massively lose
No,
something.
no, no, major gains.
You can come in here, Jess. Bruce, you stole socks? Puppies. Or if you're bored, get a puppy.
No, don't get a puppy because then they grow up, they last like for 10, 15 years. It's not just COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this is an amazing time to really address like technique on whether it's bike, swim, or run, or for me, like a lot of my clients, it's imbalances and issues, and let's fix some stuff. Because again, most like you said, I have a lot of stuff that I can lift heavy with, but most of my clients do not.
Hmm.
And so it's how do we do that? And it's improving breathing patterns and it's stuff and it's been funny. Like some clients are like, you know what, I'm just gonna pause and
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we had a
you know what I
coaches meeting with my tri club, and I was really shocked. One of the coaches says that all of her clients currently are on pause, and I was like, okay, that's. But even I currently only have one client on pause, and I just think that if they some of them are super type A, like how you're talking about, and they're just like, give me stuff to do,
yeah.
and some of them are just like, oh my god, what do I do? So I've got the gamut, and in between that, I'm kind of bringing them all together with what you're talking about and focusing more on specificity of training, technique, work on some of those weaknesses, antagonistic muscles, synergistic muscles. It just depends on, and you can really kind of take the time now to kind of, or we can take the time now to dial in. And I'm touching base with my remote clients almost daily now. And I wasn't doing that when they were, in their training. I would email them back and forth all the time, but I've been almost on the phone or texting every day, almost every single
Will you
person.
fill my wine? Oh, never mind. I don't have anybody to do that.
It just magically refills. No, but and so And here's the thing. So you and we coach not just athletes, because to me, and I say this, and anyone who I train with, I call all my clients athletes. I mean, everyone's, all right, everyone is athlete.
Getting up to take care of your kids or getting up to prep for an Ironman, you have to be ready to perform.
Well, and I think and for the people who show up to like I said this before, there have been an onslaught of social media where people are doing online classes, Orange Theory, F45. I mean, you name it, you can type in, you can Google online workouts right now, and just tons of them free.
Yeah.
Beachbody is a big one. But I think the relatability, so you and I put on our Zoom workouts because, people want to know that someone they know cares.
Right.
So, and to get even, like you say, I don't have a kid at home that I'm homeschooling. Your daughter's in preschool, but I know I have clients, and people who take my Zoom class, and they've got like 2-3 kids at home, all in between, elementary and high school. So everyone's fighting over the computer and who's doing Zoom, and then you're trying to teach your kid decimals that you haven't done. And yeah, look at you.
That's why the liquor stores are the most profitable thing. That's why they're, you know what? We're shutting everything down.
That's why
liquor stores. Liquor store. So Park City here.
The gym is closed.
In Park City, by Dan's.
Started.
The one by Dan's had like I have a buddy who's a wine rep. And he's like, no, I really think that they had their biggest numbers to date that weekend that we thought that everything was going to close. Like it beat all holiday weekends and everything. There was a 2-hour line to get in the liquor store.
No way. No. I'd start drinking beer. Screw it.
Like, the busiest place after this is over is going to be AA.
No, it's going to be divorce lawyers.
Really it's not fun to joke about. Like recovery centers are going to do really well after this is over.
Well, that's what really pissed me off is like the liquor store, which is of course state owned. Let's not get into that. Is an essential business, but the gym is not open. And I'm like, come on, whatever. And here we are drinking wine and whiskey, and so whatever.
It is what it is, and.
But anyway, like I was saying, so for those ladies to show up for that 1 hour, 45-minute workout that we do, you do, and I do, I think it's just like, okay, they've had their me time, which they were getting when they drove to the gym. And, even your one-on-one clients, if you're doing sessions with them, because I've seen you do some sessions outside, social distancing perfectly. It's just their time, so they can just get that little bit of endorphin release, and they feel like they can just handle the rest of their day. I can't imagine you guys who are out there, freaking teaching your kids school.
Oh, dude, I'm going to be I'm going to be one of the first ones who's like, teachers need to get paid more. Teachers in military, like they should be doctor salary type thing, and,
absolutely. I mean, and you guys are all shaking your all guys are toasting. Yes, thank you. Yes, you're absolutely right. But yeah, so this has I have had some, I've been watching your videos, and you're just awesome. And I have had some really freaking low days, some really, really bad days. I mean, when the gym closed, it was like, and like you said in one of your videos, it was like my worth completely, it diminished. I have no value. Like I felt I had no value. My gym is my life. It's what I do, and I love it. And then it disappeared.
And that's the thing, is we sit here and we're like, who are we? And and it's like, people always joke about therapists and stuff. Obviously, a therapist needs a therapist, and we spend so much time. We're able to really, as trainers, you're able to really kind of suppress a lot by helping others, and you're like, oh, right. I've got to be there. You're gonna go somewhere.
Get a puppy, everybody, because you're home anyway.
And but it's in this, like, one of the things that and I had to really step back the last few days, because I realized that even me, like, I was being overly interactive on social media to not really, and it wasn't that I was putting out just like crap, like it was authentic, and I was answering questions and being interactive with people. But I realized that I was doing that to not have to just kind of sit and be still.
Yeah.
And, I think all of us were, like anybody that's in this industry or into our clients, we like to be active. And there's a piece to that. It's addictive. It's a drug. It's a,
Oh yeah.
and it's a way out, and it's a disconnect. And I realized that I had started to do that with just my Instagram a little bit. And it's like, I'm going to come back. Like I have an inbox full of like people responding to some questions or asking things. But I had to really step back and be like, all right, I realized that I wasn't dealing with some stuff for me as much as I needed to. And that I wasn't doing well, just like in the 10 minutes of, like in the morning, can I just sit and be quiet? Can I just sit and be still and be in my head?
Oh my God, you're gonna make me start crying.
And, and that's the toughest thing. And I think that's the beauty of this situation, is we are all forced to look at some things. The people, somebody, Esteban came by the other, like he was walking.
Oh, I love him.
That's a rad.
Such a good-hearted dude, man.
He was walking by, and we just kind of sat across the fence and had a conversation. And he's like, what's the word that has sunk in for you right now in this? And I was like, and I had already thought about this a lot, and it's value. And it's one, like, what value do I see as in myself? What do I value financially? Who do I value? Who values me? And this is a really interesting time to have to sit down and be like, all right, so we're having everything stripped away from us, and our identities. A lot of us, like, even for me, like, I used to, people like, who are you? I'm like, oh, I'm a dad.
Right. And
I had a therapist once say, well, like, why is that fair for your daughter? If your whole who you are and your purpose for living is her, do you think that is fair for her to carry that burden? They're like, heaven forbid, like, what happens if she's gone? And I was like, well, then I don't know if I'd really have a point to living. And they're like, if she ever knew that, how is she supposed to live her life as an independent person, especially as she goes into teenage, and being like, it's not like, and not feel responsible for giving me purpose?
Yeah, but she doesn't know that. I mean,
right. But it was just like, I was like putting my identity in things, and then, I'm a strength coach, I'm in this, and it was just like, but are you okay with, like, all that stripped away? Like, you have nothing. Are you okay with just the person that you are?
And, it's funny, this amazing couple, Tess and Mare, which a lot of people in Park City know them. They're just unbelievable. I love them both so dearly. And I'll never forget one time Mare was talking to me, and she goes, you know what, Anna, maybe sometimes you just need to be a human being. And I'm like, ugh, fuck. Why do you have to speak the truth? Why can't I just be a human doing? Why do I have to be a human being?
Yeah.
And I've thought about that phrase a lot in this past month. It's been a month now. What are we on the 14th? So it's a month. It's a month officially, and everything you're saying, it's like, I still fight. I'm like, well, there's nothing wrong with, like, having value, and there's nothing wrong with being a trainer, and and having value in that, and being valuable to other people, and and I like who I am, and I like my job, and but because we have had the time, like you said, to be a little quiet, and there have been, like, days, maybe not the whole day, where I actually don't get on social media in the past 4 weeks, where I've kind of like you have had to like take a step back because it becomes overwhelming. Like, am I doing enough? Oh, this guy's doing this and this guy's doing this video and this guy's, and I'm like, you know what, Anna, it doesn't matter. There are billions of people on the planet, and you have your small group of people who you care about and they care about you. And so just let's calm down and just focus on what really matters. And it's not easy.
I think that's the thing, is we're starting to really, really, truly slow down and realize what that is. And, you know, like
Wine.
we're
Wine is really,
you know,
it's so important. Yeah.
You know, we're being forced to be creative. You know, in our profession.
Oh yeah.
Like, if we do not come out of this as better, like strength and conditioning coaches and personal trainers, we massively fucked up.
I watched a video in the very beginning, like day 2, Phil Gammon. He's a famous, if you watch him, it's like a worst retirement ever. Just go YouTube, worst retirement ever. He's an ex cyclist, Tour de France cyclist. And he said, if your house is messy and your closets aren't organized and your car's not clean, but by the time this is over, you didn't do it right.
You know, but it's funny, like I've actually kind of stepped back a little bit, and I was like, I'm packing to like move in a week and a half, but like,
you're moving? Where are you going?
To Silver Creek.
Okay.
I told you this.
Okay, I know, but I just want to make sure. I don't know.
I'm moving to Booty, Africa.
No, you're not.
I would love to, just for the t-shirts.
Do they have t-shirts there?
Probably.
Like, that say, like, I'm from Booty?
I'm from Djibouti.
You're making that up.
No, it's a real place.
They don't have t-shirts.
I bet they do. I bet I can find one online. I'm going to get it for you.
From eBay.
I know a few guys deployed in Africa.
No, but I disagree. So I think that seriously, if your pantry of your kitchen is like still a mess, if your car is not clean, I'm serious. Now's the time, because I just think that, like, before I left my house, because I'm obviously not in my home right now, my shit was together.
So messy.
You're not. It's so organized. There was no, this is April Fool's right here. It lasted the whole month of April.
So my point is, like, I have this list of things, and actually I retracted, you know, so like I was speaking a lot a week ago, just kind of about my process, and somebody was like, well, you're talking about being open and talking to people and being open, like, and letting people be there for you. And I was like, you know, like, I understand I'm talking about talking. Like, for me, I used to just be this, like, I used to internalize everything. I wasn't going to tell someone. I expected them to figure it out. But then I realized that's bullshit and that's not fair. Like, you got to help people help you. And just the same way, like, we need our clients to tell us what's going on, and we can't read their minds, especially remotely.
Right.
We know our clients are left, like, when they walk in the gym, you're like, all right, we need to switch some stuff up. You aren't on today. But, you know, it's taking the time, like, not feeling like you need to control everything so much. And I think structure is a huge important thing now. And again, value is where it comes down to. It's like figuring out the things that help you get through this day. One of the dangers to this time is they're like, oh, I can do it later. I can do it later today.
Because I have time, right?
You know, and then it's like making sure that you're prepared for when, because it is, we're going to wake up literally.
Right. Yeah. No, this will be over.
It's going to be one day we wake up and we're like, hey, you're good. And
right.
I'm also like, really? Like, we're going to all be like, okay, we can hug it. Like, or we, you know, it's gonna, but we're going to have a day where we wake up and they're like, everything's good. Go back to normal. Obviously, that's not just going to happen, like, in everybody's lives, but, you know, you need to be prepared for that. So structure, like, if you know you're going to be forced to go back to a 9 to 5 or whatever, you need to still operate as much as possible in that fashion. Get your stuff done in the mornings if you're a morning workout person. And for me, it's, you know, getting back to you waking up early and doing the things that I need to do first for me. And having some structure. This is the time to really dial that in and learn that, and maybe mess around with a few different things and find out what really works for you. And I do 100% agree that, like, if you come out of this messier than before, then it's not that you fucked up. Like, it's just you didn't take advantage of it.
Well, yeah, and I can see, again, like I said, I don't have kids running around my house. I get that. But at the same time, there's an opportunity to, I don't know. I don't fucking know anything. What do I know?
I see people on there, if you're not coming out of this in better shape and in better, like,
No, I know. But I feel that, don't you feel the pressure a little? I feel the pressure. I feel the pressure of, like, I have the time, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I might not have the resources, but I have the time. And so, like, I should be like a better everything.
Right.
I should be a better coach. I should be a better wife. I should be a better, right?
And that's,
I'm feeling a little pressure.
All the should'ves, could'ves, and would'ves happen in the world, it'd be a perfect place. And I think that's the important thing. I guess that's my bigger point is, if we put all these demands on ourselves and expectations and we don't live up to them, then we're going to come out of this worse.
Okay, so let's together, me and you, for the people who are watching and listening. So let's set like three. Let's set three. Not expectations, but three goals, options. Goals are something like, if you don't make it, then you fail. So three options. So, like, three things that if you haven't already done it, or you're thinking about doing it, or you're halfway there. So you do the first one. What's yours?
Like,
because yours would be all like, you'll be all like emotional and shit. Like, what's yours?
Like, for myself, no, I've already got that part down. My goal is to go back to just being a stone cold military person where I don't have any emotions.
Oh, bullshit. That's not yours. You're such a liar.
No,
I do miss your hugs. Like, after 2 glasses of wine, I'm officially going to say I miss your hugs. All right, whatever.
Hold on.
All right, I know. Take it in. Soak it in.
I'm so glad
Now take a sip. Take a sip. Miss your hugs. Okay, there we go.
I think.
All right, so three things that we want to come out of this saying we did.
For me, is organization in my business, and like, I've always kind of been a little bit more online than in person, but I've been walking that line. Like, if I went anywhere past where I was, the quality of what I was doing was going to go way down. Like, I've been operating very heavily on, like, lifestyle, and just enough to get where I need to be. And it's like, that's not, and I've known that I've been making a lot of excuses, like, oh, like, I don't need more, but I also don't have, like, now as this has happened, I didn't have the buffer zone that I wanted.
Buffers. So you mean, so financially you wanted to.
I was not like to comfortably and sit back and be like, I'm good for the next 6 months, a year.
Are you seriously?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
that's
like,
what I'm
fuck,
saying.
I hate you.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, I'm collecting unemployment.
5 years ago, that's where I was. And now I've just all I've been doing was what I needed to do. And I've been wanting to improve that. I've been wanting to grow, like, an online community, a general program, which is something but I've always made a lot of excuses, like, oh, my specialty is customization. And I have all the excuses in the book of why I couldn't do that.
Right.
But ultimately, like, I've really wanted to, for the financial stability and freedom and scalability of it. So that's a big piece for me, is being forced to have to adapt and quickly make shit happen, to get
or
there.
Given the opportunity to become more of a remote online coaching. Right.
Because we have no idea when we are going to be able to be back in a gym.
Well, not only that, but even when the gyms open, not sure.
No one's, like, again, like I said, they're not gonna, you guys are good. No one's going right back to, like, high five, hug. No, we're still stuck in this. it's like coming out of a like abusive relationship. Your guards up.
That's true. Right, right. You're not going to
Your
jump right
guards
back
up. You're
into
not just
something else.
automatically
Right,
like, oh, cool. You know what? None of that's lingering. I don't have
right,
any baggage at all.
right.
No.
Okay, so our first tip to people listening, watching, whatever, is to kind of like, maybe take advantage of something that you might have been like putting on the shelf and avoiding because it was really challenging and time consuming and it wasn't really necessary, whatever that may be. So like for you, it's the online coaching and developing more systematic programs for clients, even because you're more specialized. And the thing is I understand that because I'm like you, and this is why we get along. Well, that's the only reason, but we get each other because we understand that each client is individual in themselves. And I can say that I've been doing this for a long time, as of you have also, is that the most people need very similar foundations. And then if you need to get in something more specific, then you like that was a different situation. But and anyone who is nodding their head, they understand that to develop an online program is really time consuming and
It is.
very exhausting. I've actually just recently been in touch with someone who's helping me with my social media presence and has been organizing. That's our first goal right now, is to organize my YouTube, my Facebook, and my Instagram so everything is connected to each other, so that once I do start really pushing more information into those options, Facebook, Instagram, they're all connected.
Yeah.
And that is, it's very time consuming and scary.
And that's the thing, is that a lot of the times I've been like, oh, like, I do this, I need to go film 30 hours of videos and just get it done.
And you're way better at it than me. Oh, I have like no
I'm just
patience.
like, they're like, oh, but it's a powder day.
But you can't see right now.
And, so that's a big piece of it is dialing in that. But I've also been forced to realize, one, how much time I have spent cultivating communities and experiences for other people.
Right.
And like I have this Thursday men's group that I started back in August, and it's an amazing
Right.
thing. But I realized that again, I was creating an environment for other men to come and be vulnerable. And that all of us,
Not you.
well, I mean, I was very open about like where I was coming from and things like that. But I realized how much that I was reliant upon like them to come in and be vulnerable so that I didn't have to be. Like I did not realize how much in the last like 4 to 5 months I had built this thing to where I was back to being there for everyone else.
So it's like you want to be the foundation for all these people.
No,
But
I just wanted to, like, I don't, and this is the other thing. I hate being the like center of it, like attention. And like, I don't want to be like, I like to create an environment where other people can come and be vulnerable and open and honest
right.
out there and highlight. I love highlighting other people.
Yeah, me too.
But that I realized that I wasn't really letting myself process stuff. All of a sudden I was extremely busy, but I wasn't being productive.
We should say that again. You were extremely busy.
I was super busy, but not productive. And that was the thing. Like my life motto, like really for the last year and a half had been do less to live more.
And you're right. You were doing that.
And all of a sudden I was like, whether it was ski group, like I was constantly like creating things for other people to be a part of. And now it's been taken away. And I'm like, I was back to who am I?
Right.
What am I doing? Like, I have no value.
Right.
I didn't value myself. I valued my ability to be there for other people. But I did not truly value myself. Like I realized that I was back to point like, well, no, I just don't want to sit with myself and just be quiet and silent in my head and just, I was like, oh shit, like I stopped doing all the little things that got me through like really dark stuff a couple of years ago. I stopped doing all those things. And all I was doing was cultivating
I'm listening.
experiences for other people.
But that's, here's the thing.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
Right. It's what we do.
Right. There's nothing wrong with it. But when now in this scenario, I wasn't
I know.
as
We don't
prepared.
have that. Right. We don't. Well, who was prepared?
But I wasn't working on myself as much.
But that's who we are. That's who you are.
But that's, again, like, I wasn't practicing what I preached. And now I don't have the option. Like, I've had some really dark days during this last month.
I know, me too.
And it's
like,
but it's because I'd stopped doing all the little things. Lauren!
That's my daughter. Lauren, say hi. No, okay. Well, my dog just threw up. I don't know, and then, but like, if I was to, if we have to think about like who's watching this, it's like people that you and I know. And like I said, a lot of those people who are watching this are like stay-at-home moms, and they're like, well, I've lost my identity because I've now become a teacher and a full-time mom, and like there's, and X, Y, and Z, and they have no time. So you and I have like way amount of time, and those people have zero time. I mean, like,
and that's why it's even more important to focus on what are the like little things that allow me to truly be where I need to be, to process what I need to be okay with me. So people come to us and we give all the advice in the world, but I was not practicing what I was preaching. And again,
I'm like, I don't.
Like, and that's just for me. Like, this.
I hear you. I hear you, and I don't disagree, or like, I don't get it. But and watching your videos, on Instagram, which I think if you can link back to them or whatever, it really, I and that, again, that's one reason that you and I get along so well, I think, because it's like we have this underlying understanding of like, where like it's this deep shit that's like sometimes kind of bubbles up to the surface, and we're like, and we kind of press it down a little bit. You obviously, with your military background, have been through, a lot more than, anyone that I could possibly comprehend. But at the same time, it's all relative, I mean,
yeah.
So, I just know that, one thing, it's interesting. It's like, I think we are in a place now in the world where like everyone is going through the exact same thing at the exact same time. That has not been that way since like World War II.
We're in the same storm. And what even was like World War II, like people that were sitting there doing that, like they didn't know what the people that were fighting the war were going through. Like this is unprecedented.
It's unprecedented. No, you're right. This is like a hurricane.
This is a
9/11 and 2008 stock market crash, but for the world, all at the same time.
Is not like there's no ifs and buts. Like no one's safe. And
no one's going to be like, oh, that's just them.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, is again, it's looking at like what allows you to be okay. Like again, like isolation here, like for me, like I have an empty house 90% of the time.
Because Maddox isn't out there.
And it's like and so I have Maddox pretty much every morning, and we do half days. But after that and going to bed at night, like I'm alone, and I struggle, and all of a sudden was struggling, falling asleep again, because like I was like, why am I alone? Why don't I have a spouse? Why don't I have a partner? And these things, and started to like challenge all those things. Whereas a year ago, like I was at complete peace with that.
Sorry, not to interrupt.
Lauren.
That's my daughter, Lauren. She just drove up from Park City.
Who's that?
That's Deacon.
Just him?
Yeah, just him. We're doing a Zoom video. So Lauren just drove up from Park City to hang out with us, and there's Tucker. somewhere. There he is.
Tucker.
Breathing heavy. Tucker. He's happy that he's here with his brother, Carl. They're not really brothers, obviously. Tucker's a lab and Carl's a French bulldog.
Well, I think that's the thing is it's like.
But imagine, so you're living, at least you have Maddox and you live in Park City, so we can, just imagine people who are like single, like, and they have no family or, I mean, they might have friends, but they're, they're home doing homework, they're at home doing their, there's a lot of people who are really like, literally like alone.
Yeah. Well, and again, like that goes back to the point, like I've really had to come back and be like, why, like I actually used to really value coming home and just being alone in the night. And now I'm like, man, like it was giving me anxiety, but it was because I wasn't dealing with my stuff. Like I had started to, it's like, I always like to give the analogy of that scary clown in the room. You walk in the room and every time you're like, oh shit. And versus, and we just were like, oh God, like that scared me. Instead of taking the time to walk over to him and be like, I see you. I know you're going to be in there and I'm okay with it. And I had kind of just, again, I had just gotten really busy and had stopped doing all the like kind of like the little things that were like a big thing for me is morning time. And I didn't used to coach in the mornings because that was my time to really start the day.
Right.
I started taking clients back in the morning. I would take people ski touring with me. When that was my time to just be in my head and be like, I'm okay with being in my head.
Right.
And I stopped doing it, and it was my choice to do it because I was like, oh, like, but I didn't realize what that was for me and how important that was for me. And again, everybody's different, but I think, and then for me, a third thing is just structure. It is like getting to a point where I have a routine every day and set, like kind of like the 9 to 5 thing. If you know you're going to go back to that, be prepared for that. But having structure.
Yeah, I've been purposely setting my alarm to wake up, even though I don't technically need to be up, just wake up and just get stuff done and, maybe go for a walk or whatever. And again, like I said, I think the second thing, is to, like you said, to not find some sort of structure, but create structure. Because I think, especially if you have kids at home, they need structure.
Yeah.
Because without structure, it is chaos. And you think your kids are acting out because they're crazy and you're crazy and everything's crazy. But if you create structure, like I have clients who I've been watching on Facebook, actually, I'm sorry, not clients, but friends I've been watching on Facebook, and they have a giant whiteboard, and every day they have, a schedule. And I think I saw you also had that, I think, of a schedule of what the day, and not to say that you have to stick to the schedule, but the kids see that and they see a schedule, and that creates some sort of organization. So I think the second thing would be to like create some sort of structure, like you're talking about. Even me time. I think what would be really awesome for the people who are listening and watching, if you could do a session with your breath work. I'm serious. I think that is just you going through the same breath work that you put people through in the classes when you were in the gym, because I've thought about that, because I do it on my own, and I think it's really, really, I think if people could just take 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is that you do, and do that breath work.
And that's a piece of it, because again, that's the only time, like, again, like, look at our clients and people that love to come in there, like, they're not trying, and this isn't a shot, but they're coming in there to be busy and be distracted.
Somewhat, yes, you're right.
They aren't coming in there to sit down and be like, I want to process what's going on in my life. I'm going to try to figure out why I may not be happy, why I need
they don't want to do that.
why I need this drug release from home. What is it? What is that?
Right.
And that's where, like, our activity and workout, that's for a lot of people that's what it is, an escape. But it's not processing.
Right.
So, and that's a big piece of that. One, there is a lot of performance enhancement benefits to the breathing, but I know for a fact that most of the people I train, that's the only 3 to 5 minutes that they're going to take through the day to actually like stop and be in their head and think about it. And, so that's a piece to it. And I think that's really important. And again, that's what it was for me. I wasn't doing that. I was like, for me, as a piece of every day was getting up and doing a devotional and having that time, and then taking 10 minutes to whether it was guided meditation or whatever, to just sit and be quiet and be in my head.
Right. So I think that second thing that we would say is definitely, you know, and you can even do, like I'm saying, the me time, like, you know, the breath work. You can even get the kids and the family involved, because I know it's hard to take some me time when you're all, you know, closed into, you know, one space, one home, to get everybody involved, you know, put it on
Yeah.
schedule, make it.
But I still would say it's even more important for them to do it alone. Like, and
I understand that, but a lot of people
that's
are
why I get up early.
a
That's
lot
why
of
I get up so early. And
but I know, like I had a client this morning, and I'm here in sunny St. George, and he is there with you, and it was snowing this morning, and he just kept, I think he said 3 times, it would be an awesome powder day. It would be an awesome powder day. So his mental attitude was not, you know, let's get into this workout and let's, you know, burn some calories and like get fit and stay strong. He was like looking out the window and is like, be awesome powder day. You know, I'm like, listen, man, I hear you, but we're here and we're finishing this workout. So,
and again, that's where I think it comes down to, like, slowing things down and getting people to stop. Again, I had gotten back to where I was busy.
mhm.
I was not as mentally strong this last month as I was 7 months ago,
Mhm.
because I had been more focused and more busy and not taking the time to slow down and just be in my head for 10 minutes a day.
I
And
don't know.
again,
Are you sure you want to be there 10 minutes a day?
I mean, most people probably wouldn't, and that's why it's important to do it.
Okay, so what's number 3? So, get your shit together as far as cleaning your house, and
Like,
you know,
organize.
don't exit this with like more clutter and more things to do. Second thing is more me time, right? So spending like 5, 3, 10, whatever, 7 minutes a day, and where you have like the me time. And
And
then the
third
last thing,
is moving, like move, and not having it be like, I don't know about you, but like my workouts have not been remotely as structured as
you know,
or as long. And I'm just like, because I'm not motivated to do it right now. I'm just kind of like, oh, you know what? I could rewatch all 8 seasons of Game of Thrones. Um, but
I did
it,
rewatch Ozark though.
and I just started that, and
It's a good one.
I started with season 3.
No, you
I did. It started with season 3.
no, you have.
Uh,
You're not
yeah,
gonna get it. You have to go.
it's all right. I'm totally good.
You do
And
be you.
but it's, you know, and this is kind of what I told my clients, like, and this is a challenge for me. Is like I've
Move
like,
every day.
yeah, it's like I'm not worried about the perfect thing. I'm like, and I touch base with a lot of clients day to day, and like, what feels good today,
Mhm.
like what sounds good, and that's kind of how I've been training. Which, when it comes to an event or a specific goal, that is not the way to train.
Right.
But right now, training by feel is incredibly valuable, and doing it every day, whether it's 10 minutes or 90 minutes
Mhm.
or a 3-hour bike ride or whatever, what feels good that day and going to doing it.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, because I definitely at the beginning of this had more days where I didn't. I'm like, you know, I don't have all the weights I need. I can't follow my program.
Mhm.
Screw it. Versus, again, following the guidelines that I was giving. Like, I was programming for my clients every day,
Mhm.
but I wasn't doing what I was telling. Like, I was like, oh, well, this is good for them, but it wasn't good enough for me. You know, so it's no matter what, move every day, whether it's mobility or whatever. Like,
Go for a bike ride. Go for a hike.
you
Go for
know,
a
and
walk.
as coaches, it's stop trying to have the perfect programming right now, because honestly, it's next to impossible. Help your clients move and get healthy, and there's always a massive difference between health and fitness. You know, whether it's training for an event or whatever, like, there's a big difference between health and performance.
Mhm.
Um,
I had a client buy a stability ball. And he was just like, I can't believe I'm buying a stability ball. I'm like, yeah.
like, what are you gonna do?
I'm saying, I don't know if he's going to use it, but he bought it. So we'll see what happens. It is. It's a
Yeah,
challenging time because there have been a lot of people in yours and mine world, our clients, who have really relied on us to, like, they show up, they shut down. They're like, just tell me what to do. And that has been a very challenging time for everyone in multifacets, not just being fit and staying healthy, but in everything, being able to, like, organize your life, grocery shop, there's no going out to dinner. You have to cook or take out, and you have to organize that. It's like,
Domino's still delivers.
you don't eat, do you really eat Domino's? Don't tell me you eat Domino's.
Only like 3 days a week.
Oh my God.
I'm totally kidding. It's like 4.
Yeah. No, I'd rather starve.
I had the most amazing ribeye last night.
You had a ribeye? Where?
On my grill.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like, where'd you go? Or where'd you get delivered? Anyway, so we're talking about, so the first thing was, like, get your shit together, organize, whatever. Me time, for sure. And then move.
Yeah. And I mean, and if, like, wherever it fits in there, give yourself a fucking break.
Okay.
But like, so we have all these things. These are all the things, again, that, like, we feel like we should do because we have all this time. You know what? If you don't do it, oh well. Who cares?
If you're not going to do it, then don't grab onto that guilt. Because, like I said, social media can be like, it's like the FOMO, like you're missing out on all these, like, workouts of this yoga class and this HIIT class and this free option and this and that. And it can be overwhelming that you think everybody else is doing all these other workouts and you're missing out. When showing you one blip.
We are still putting our highlight reel on social media. and that's why, like, I was trying to be very vulnerable a lot, like the beginning of this, be like, no, dude, I'm struggling. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. And that's something I've tried to really do. But then again, I realized that I was still kind of like trying to be busy. But yeah, it's like, we're giving you this stuff, but if it's not, like, don't do it out of guilt. Don't do it out of, I should do this. Be okay with struggling right now. Mm-hmm. Be okay with, like, being in what you're feeling. Feel it. Like, we talked about this before. Like, I don't want my clients to come in and be like, I want to have all these great days, because that's not realistic. Like, gurus, like, what do you want out of this? Happiness. You know what? You are not going to be happy every day. And if you get upset that you're not, you're fucking up, because it is impossible. Right. Like, I have some amazing people around me and some amazing friends. And I have this one friend in particular, and I think about it, like, and I look at her, I'm like, she's the most, like, peaceful, content, happy person in the world. Mm-hmm. But she's had some dark days through this. And she's like, I just feel anxious today. I'm like, really? And I was shocked at first. I was like, you're human. Mm-hmm. And it's just, you know what? Be okay with that. Good days is a great place to be, training wise, emotionally, whatever. Great days are awesome. Mm-hmm. But they're not sustainable. No. You look at a mountaintop. There's a reason there's nothing on a mountaintop. You can't live there. Right. Valleys. The low point of that mountaintop is where all the vegetation, everything, rivers, everything is. That's where you grow and nourish. Mm-hmm. And then you go down to the desert and you're like, fuck. But
the desert is awesome.
I'm just kidding. You're in the desert. That was just. But
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I'm a winter. You know this, that I love winter. Like, I love, and I'm just like,
It's not that I hate winter. Like I said, I just had like a little PTSD.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm over it. I'm like, I just
You,
want to be warm. Like, quarantine, COVID should not be a winter thing.
you think they would have scheduled it? You
Like,
know,
like,
fine.
you
You
know,
know,
I pray a lot, and I'm like, God, like, next time, this is
when you
summer,
bring in
this
COVID
is
20,
summer activity.
can you like, kick it in June?
Uh, but yeah, like, give yourselves a break, you know, whether it's training or whatever, and just,
You have a glass of wine, which by the way is empty, and you have some whiskey.
if I can ask anybody to come out of this, it's one, like, it's the idea of value, and again, but being more vulnerable, being okay with saying shit's not okay. This sucked. Like, there's some amazing things that are going to come out of this, and I truly believe that it can be a healing thing for the country and for the world, and
Oh,
a lot of benefits can come out of this.
Mhm.
It's going to be hard, and there's going to be a struggle, but I'm a huge believer that we just need to be okay with not being okay, and
Tough one.
and people just, like, don't sit here and be like, what do I think it's unfair to all of us to sit there and be like, if I haven't come out of this and done this, I've failed. Because it's all, that's performance based, and it's like, you know what, I just need to be okay. If we honestly, if you get through this, high five.
Well, we're gonna all get through it. I mean, well, not
But
all.
but we're not. To be very, like, I mean, there's been multiple suicides here in Park City in the
Okay.
last 2
Okay. But
But no, like, this is the thing, and
in general, we're gonna all, most
we
of us are gonna be okay.
we're gonna be okay, and we can be. But that is to, again, it's, I don't want to sit there and say, like, I expect you to be okay.
No,
I want people to be okay with saying this is fucking hard
sucks. Yeah.
and this is miserable, and not like, if I don't come out of this better, like, right at the start, like, if when the flag's raised and we're like, oh, everybody go back to normal, if I don't feel like I'm good,
Mhm.
that you failed. Because again, that's expectations. It's like, and that's where you have clients like, you know what, I want to do these. They come to you the first time, like, I haven't worked out in 3 years. My goal is to work out 8 days a week, 2 hours a day, and that's my goal. I'm like, you know what, why don't we start with 15 minutes 3 days a week, and give yourself wins. Don't get stuck on what someone else is doing, because again, like, if I came to you and was like, I want to complete an Ironman, and you're like, well, how many, like, triathlons have you done? I'm like, none. You would look at me like I was crazy.
I've had clients like that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. And don't put those expectations on yourself, because that's not fair.
So that's the thing, is like, we are currently in a marathon. So it's one day at a time, one school session with your
We're,
kids at a
we're
time.
not running a marathon every day.
Yes, every day is a marathon. So it's an ultra marathon.
No, every day is a mile. We're training for a marathon. We're in a marathon. We're training.
Marathon, or every day is a mile.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, every day is not a marathon. Like, we're training. Like, we're looking at this like a marathon prep.
Marathon, right? So you're trying to get through each single day to, at some point, you know that, obviously it can't last forever. Nothing lasts forever. But you say that to someone who is like in the thick of it, especially, like I said, with the kids, because I have, a lot of moms with kids, and that is the most challenging, taxing thing, is that you are officially teaching a 8th grader, a 7th grader, a 5th grader, a 11th grader. You're trying to, like, and think about your daughter sitting in front of a computer, just trying to, like, get a word in. It's very challenging.
Yeah. Well, and again, that's my thing. It's like, give yourself wins. Like, so for that mom, don't sit there and be like, you know what, I got to knock out my hour-long workouts. Like, you know what, I'm going to move for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move for 10 minutes. I'm going to take 10 minutes to lock myself in a closet or whatever and be still. Like, that's attainable. Start there. But again, we're all like, no, I'm going to run a marathon every day. And that's the problem, is we look at social media and we look at all these things, like, this guy's doing that, they're doing that. Deacon and Anna are doing this. We're on totally different levels.
Mm-hmm.
and we have different things going on. So that's the downside to social media. Is like, well, this person's doing it and they're saying I should be. No, for that mom, like for Travis Maddox's mom, who literally has her double that I do,
Right.
because that's where Maddox wants to sleep at night.
Right.
If I can give Travis the opportunity to do a heavy set of deadlifts every day, she's probably good.
Yeah.
And 10 minutes. If I can get, and obviously like I take Maddox for a group of hours every day and I want her more, but that's not what gives Maddox peace right now. And that's a hard thing for me. Because I'm like, that's about me.
We can get puppies.
But you have that's things like give yourself wins. Don't look at everybody else's scenario.
What I'm saying is like when you look at social media, it can be overwhelming. You think everybody's out there getting fit and exercising at home, and they're not. I'm not saying that. I'm not discarding what other people are doing, but you need to be realistic. Everybody's situation is different. Social media, they always show the best of themselves, and that's why you and I are doing this. Is like we want you to understand that we know that all that stuff is not all of it, but most of it is bullshit. Everyone's smiling, their hair is perfect, they have the cutest little outfit.
He's talking about me.
So,
which, by the way, my hair, when I dye the top of it, is going to look like Tiger King.
You do not even want to see what's under here.
I'm going to look like Tiger King with the mullet. Like once I bleach all this,
the gray that's going on.
once I bleach this mullet, I'm going to be the Tiger King.
You bleach that mullet, I swear to God, I will crack up. Anyway, so I think we should wrap it up.
And then it'll be worth it.
We should wrap up our Wine and Whiskey Wednesdays.
We will see you guys next week. Hit us up with questions. This will be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever else.
We should podcast it for sure.
And it will be on iTunes as well, actually.
Okay.
I have that done and loaded and ready to go.
Yeah. I miss you.
I miss your face. Well, no, I see your face. I miss your heart. Order me BFR brands. I'll Venmo. Text me what to Venmo you.
Okay. Yeah, and then maybe we could talk about that.
We can do some demo stuff with that next week. Maybe Anna can work
my
me.
My muscles are like going away. I'm like starting to.
Oh, that's cute.
Whatever. It's happening.
Anna's one of the most jacked 50-year-olds we'll ever see. That's where I'm like, I've got time. I got time.
You're like, I've got plenty of time.
I got plenty of time to get to this status. All right. I love you.
All right. Love you too.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care.